Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Law-Splaining the Interwebs. I'm your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, a small law firm in central Minnesota. And guys, I have a 2-year-old, right? I say baby, she's the youngest. I have a 2-year-old who is now, instead of going to bed at night, decides to roam the house. And apparently has found the power button on my PC. So that's nice. To have this computer set up, the stream is ready to go. And then I leave my office and, go hang out with Lady Rackets. And then I come down, like, okay, I got like 2 minutes to get started. This will be great. Whole computer is shut down, which means I have to open it back up, get Streamlabs open, get YouTube open, reorganize all the Anyway, put the tower on top of the desk. What kind of degenerate do you think I am? That sounds terrible. So we today will be finishing up, polishing off the current Ronversations. I'm getting them set up right now. I think we will finish what I have from Ron. Although, like I said, or I mentioned this somewhere, he messaged me the other day, and then he just didn't respond. Like a weirdo. You know? So I don't know why he did that. You guys who can probably work to figure that out. But I don't know what this guy's problem is. So we'll have to maybe investigate the last thing he sent to me at some point. At some point, we'll have to do that. Of course, now I have to figure out also where I left off. And yes, I know someone messaged it to me, but I don't remember who. And the way Twitter things work, it'll just take me a second to find it. But we're going to finish up the Ronversations that we have. I don't know that it'll take the longest in the world. We'll see. Why would there be? Okay. Just have to get to the last message here. I don't think it'll take the longest. Okay, is that it? Okay. Here we go. Almost there. Somewhere here. Perfect. Okay, we'll get back to exactly this spot when we're ready to go in just a few minutes. So thanks for being patient with the lateness and the gayness, of course. In other legal news, stuff we will be covering going forward, Jussie Smollett has of course been indicted. Federally indicted for all sorts of stuff. 6 felony counts, I think. Something like that. So that's going to go well for him. Apparently they don't like when you lie about an incident to try and incite the race war or whatever his goal was. I bet his goal was less complicated. It was probably just, please, I need to be relevant. But I'm not. So hopefully this will work. Nope. Terrible plan. But yeah, they don't like that. They don't like being used for that kind of stuff. I don't know if people know this, but the police, for whatever faults that they may have, and I think there are many, don't get me wrong, whatever faults they may have, they don't like being wasted and abused for some sort of personal game. And that's good. That's a good thing for them to have. I'm getting the gavel out. I've also hidden an Easter egg in the background. I'm sure it'll take you about 10 seconds to find it now that I've mentioned it, but it is there. And so I should bring this up. I mentioned this on a previous stream, but someone did send me Emotional Intelligence 2.0. So there you go. We've got it here. I'm considering going through emotional intelligence on the show sometime, or parts of it. We've got the journey, the big picture, what emotional intelligence looks like, understanding the 4 skills. It's just 4 skills, guys. That's all you need. See, really smart people who don't ever hand job their own intelligence, what they do is they distill extremely complex things like human emotion and interaction, and they just put that into 4 easy steps, 4 key areas for you to work on. You get these 4 areas nailed down and you are emotionally intelligent. You got it. The 4 skills: digging in, an action plan to increase your EQ, that's your emotional quotient, self-awareness strategies, self-management strategies, social awareness strategies, and relationship management strategies. Can you guess what the 4 skills are? I think they gave away the goose or whatever. Epilogue, just the facts, a look at the latest discoveries in emotional intelligence. So here's this manufactured fiction that we have created. Let's look at the facts about it and the discoveries in it, which would, I presumably, just be their own self-filleting. And then discussion questions for reading groups, notes, and learn more. So yeah, we'll have to figure out which of the key strategies Ron is embracing in his discussions. But I would like to skim, I won't read the whole thing, a letter from the person who sent this to me. Ron is a liar and said he would send me books, but didn't. I mean, I don't know what his problem is. He said if I was too poor, he would mail them to me, and he didn't. But JL, not here, knew I was too poor, and he mailed me one of the books. So he says, Nick, longtime fan, short-time supporter. Enclosed is a copy of Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Yes, the one recommended to you by someone who would write a letter in a rambling and unhinged format to let you know this will make you a better person. They would use more smiley emojis in doing so. Having read this book, I still have the self-respect to not do that. An elder at my church decided all the staff needed to read this. I believe he got this idea while at a self-help seminar on how to save your marriage by buying timeshares. Overall, this is not a bad book. If you read through the lens of having a personality disorder, this book will offer many insights on how to better your life. You might think this book has to be awful. It's not. I have no idea. I just know that it's written in print big enough for my 4-year-old to read it. It's only bad in the sense the 2 authors are so up their own asses. They have to quote from the Dalai Lama on the cover and a quote from Aristotle on the inside flap. It's really a prime example of ego masturbation resulting in a book. I'm leaving in the unused online course to improve your emotional quotient, your EQ. It's not because I like you or hate you. Rather, it's because I didn't want to spend more time than necessary on this book. I have no idea what the course is, but it would be fun to see you do it on a stream. So maybe we'll have to do that. We'll have to do the EQ online course or something. I'd have to look at it. I don't know. Obviously, copyright issues if we do the whole thing straight through on the stream. But we'll see what we can do about that. I've got to take a peek. That said, I don't want to donate this book. He didn't mean to me. He meant he doesn't want to donate it to like a store that would sell it to someone else. The type of person shopping self-help books at a discount bookstore is the type of person that would recommend this book. Either a man that can't open a jar and faint from thinking about going to the gym, or a ham planet who drools when within 5 miles of a bakery and needs to add something to its orbit of oppressions. In summary, this book is very useful if you have a personality disorder or are prone to buy timeshares. And then it's got a little bit more personal thing in there, which I won't read. But JL, I will see you there. I will be there if you're I hope you're watching. I do appreciate the donation of the book to me. And we'll see what we can do with the online course. But in June, I will be where you will be. And definitely come find me. It should be pretty easy. It should be pretty easy. So we will keep Emotional Intelligence 2.0 as a reference. I do think it would be fun to do some sort of bonus content going through this book. Look at how big the text is. This is 250, 270 pages. But the text, you're talking about less than 300 words per page. It's embarrassing that people would write this and waste this much paper. This is maybe a 90-page book. Anyway, Travis Bradbury and Gene Greaves. Oh God, with backs, with text on the back from Newsweek, Newsday, Washington Post, Ken Blanchard, and Stephen Covey. Oh God. Oh God. I can't wait. Just wonderful. Oh, now I have something to do on my vacation. I can make myself a better person. Okay, let me read. We've got a couple chats that we'll go through, and then we'll kind of get the show rolling here. I don't want to keep you guys waiting too long. I don't want to be unself-aware and unsocially aware in that way. So let's take it out. Let's check it out here. Mongo5817. Ron Toye is just the gift that keeps on giving. Unlike West Nile, that only takes from you and never calls you back. Why else would Lemoyne be so angry at the world? West Nile Chan broke his heart. Whew. I wasn't getting choked up. I wasn't. I was just yawning. Just yawning. Travis the Bard says, since Funimation canceled Interspecies Reviewer, makes me want to buy the seasons on DVD. Good thing they dropped it, because Monica was to voice act for a prostitute in the series. We don't want that image. No, we don't. No, we don't. And I have a feeling that they didn't either when they thought about it for more than 1 second. But speaking of Interspecies Reviewer, I'm happy to announce that tomorrow we will have a special guest. Raging Golden Eagle will be joining the stream. I will get to know RGE, only very tangentially know each other through Twitter and YouTube stuff. So he's going to join the stream. We're going to talk about Interspecies Reviewer. I know he's been following it, and I think he's reviewed a couple episodes and stuff like that. And we'll talk about all this stuff that's been going on. We're just going to have a good show, right? We're just going to have a good chat, and that'll be the final show before my trip. And then the shows during my trip will be kind of, you'll have to just kind of watch Twitter and YouTube for the announcements on those. I will try and set out a schedule as possible, but I'm not 100% sure of the itinerary, the layout of our lodging, and all of that stuff. I just know for sure there will not be a show Thursday night. It's very unlikely to have a show on Friday night. So, but all other days are open. I'll lay it out once I figure this stuff out. I don't know how my internet's going to be. I don't know anything about it. In some ways, I hate vacations because of that. So, but yes, RGE will be on tomorrow, same time, 11 p.m. And so come join us, hang out, ask all your Interspecies Reviewer questions. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Next. What do we got? Tucker says, any chance we can get a stream on the New Way Forward Act? Maybe. I don't know what the New Way Forward Act is, but it sounds like communist trash. What is this? The New Way Forward Act. Oh, God. To fight criminalization of immigrants. All right. Well, maybe. I'll have to read it and see what we can figure out from it. It seems grand. It seems grand. So, the infamous GS says, after some serious thought, I'm convinced Anna Matt could very well be related to Ron in some way. They both think you're a grifting scam artist and the one responsible for Vic's downfall. P.S. Rip them both a new one. Well, I mean, there may just be an Occam's razor answer for this, right? Ron has been shopping out for a long time. Ron has been shopping out to YouTubers with bigger channels than mine that would comment on this favorably to them. I know of someone that he asked that has a much bigger channel than mine. I won't say who. But I know someone that he approached about this who just blew him off. If you remember, this is around the time that he promised to go on Mad Black's show and then bitched out because, credit to Mad Black. He tried to get Ron on the show, and Ron did stand him up, right? And then that preceded Mad Black's lunacy, but Ron stood him up. Ron completely chumped out on an interview. So, but yeah, Mad Black was not the only person that he was fishing out to. Not at all. Someone you guys probably know. So that's very interesting. But didn't work out in Ron's favor there. And so that never materialized. But I know he has been fishing out. He wants to get his message out. They've wanted to for a long time. I think maybe it's possible that they found it in Animat. I don't know. I'm not saying there's a grand conspiracy. It wouldn't be that strange. It wouldn't be wrong for them to try and do that. So there's don't mistake this for, oh man, they're trying to get someone to help them. Of course they are. Why do you think they brought in Doucette and Akiva Cohen in the first place? That was their grand scheme. They were going to take back the fight, right? They had to get an idiot with a big Twitter platform, so they went to Doucette. It's not a mystery. They decided to fight back on a media front. They may have had help from their attorneys in doing so. So anyway, so there's that. We'll see. Gabriel Evings mentions that, don't know if you saw it or not, but they're making another Pathfinder game and they got a Kickstarter up for it. Yes, they do. And we will be talking about that Kickstarter and about that game. And I'm not 100% sure when, but I believe I will have some of the development team on to talk about that, which again will be different from the normal show content, right? Because there won't be much legal theme going on, but I talk about stuff in these geek communities or whatever you want to call it in the geekdom. But I have been in contact with Owlcat Studios, and I think we will have some of the developers on the show. And what I want to do is talk to them about how they develop these things, and I would like to talk about how they implement the rules lawyer, right? Because there is in gaming, there's the rules lawyer who comes in and determines what these silly little rules actually mean, how they adapt that to video games. So I'm hoping we can kind of focus the discussion in those kinds of ways. I thought that might be interesting for you guys, and then maybe we can get some cool sneak peeks at stuff or whatever. But so yeah, we'll be talking about that going forward. I don't have a firm date on that, but I have talked to them about it. So I loved the first Pathfinder game. I haven't finished it, but I like playing it. The graphics are great. The story's cool, which is weird for me to say. And the gameplay is really good. It's challenging and punishing and all that stuff. So, yeah. So there's that. That will be coming in the near future. We got to do one thing that we haven't done in a little while. And that's, as we're talking about Ron and this stuff, we're going to pull up the GoFundMe for Vic Kicks Back. We're going to take a peek at it. And I don't remember if Ron actually mentions the GoFundMe anytime in this conversation, but we'll take a peek. Let me just make sure we've got everything lined up correctly here. Nope. There's that. Now we go this guy right here. Okay. Well, let's do this. Here we go. Here is the GoFundMe. $275,245. Thank you to Anonymous, Gary Scott, Joe Kaiser, Davian Bowens, Anonymous, Mark Patterson, Anonymous, Ron Toye, Gelth Walker, Daddy-O Spanks, Philip Kilroy, Major Zero, Gabriella Sawicki, and I remember reading some of these names. So we are here. Thank you guys for your donations. On the last show we talked about it. We cleared that $275,000 hurdle, which is great. And I really do appreciate it, as I said. And yeah, it's oh boy. every single one is fantastic. Every single dollar. So there you go. As far as let's see, was there anything else? No. Yes. Phoenix Aurum says, checking in for a sec. Have you heard of Larry Lawton, America's biggest ex-jewel thief? And your thoughts, if you have? Godspeed. I have not heard of Larry Lawton. I feel like I've heard the title, but I haven't heard of him. Like, I couldn't tell you by the name. So I don't have any thoughts on it. So sounds like an interesting guy. So, you know, I don't know. I'll look into him. Maybe he's on those YouTube videos. Okay, he has a YouTube channel. Cool. Sounds good. Sounds like there's some people with some interesting stuff out there. Interesting life stories, right? I want to know why the lock-picking lawyer knows how to pick all the locks. Crom Iron Skull says, hey, Nick, hope you're having a great night. Gotta head out, but figured I'd contribute to the Disney trip first. Hope you and your family have a great time. Whoa! Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. We will. We will have a great time, I'm sure. Okay. All right. Are you guys ready? We can do this. Here we go. I read these two messages of mine. That's where we left off. And that's where we will start up. Okay? We may have a special guest at Live Chat Wednesday tomorrow from what you've heard. Oh, great. Cool. That'll be fun. Let's see. All right, so here's where we left off. This is February 1st, and we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good on the status bar over here. So I think we'll wrap this up tonight just fine. So you considered and discussed the effects of your words and just said, well, I guess if it literally destroys him or even kills him, that's just the way it goes. Bold. By the way, your fantasy extrapolations of his comments about the GoFundMe are fascinating. So this was, you know, him. He has just, I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. His thoughts on what happened with the GoFundMe and what he said, what Vic said at deposition are they're mind-blowing. I don't get them. I don't understand how he gets to where he is. He spoke before her. You knew this. He spoke before me. You knew this. But you still encouraged him to sue? Nick, see, again, I don't know where this comes from. I think Ron legitimately believes that because Ron and Monica can't be wrong about something, someone else must have convinced Vic to sue them. As if I care at all if Vic sues them. I don't care. I think it's funny that he sued them. I think it's funny that their lives are in shambles in many ways. I think the pretext that they're trying to put up that everything's just fine and dandy is funny. I think the lack of convention appearances is funny. I think they're awful. I can't express enough. But there's a whole lot of awful people out there. I don't care if they get sued or not. Never met these dummies. I don't care if he sued. I certainly didn't care back in February if he sued them or not. That's not my prerogative. I don't have any, it doesn't do me anything for him to sue them. So I don't know, but this is, well, here we go. Emotional intelligence 2.0, right? The 4 skills. The 4 skills are self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. So this is a lack of self-awareness and a lack of social awareness on Ron's part. He still doesn't believe that he and Monica have anything to do with Vic. Like that they would, how dare he sue us? What did we do to him? Oh, I don't know. Maybe ruined his life. Maybe lied about him. Well, we did all that after. No, you didn't. Certainly not after I talked about it, because I talked about it later than them. It was after. Yeah, and if you guys remember at the beginning, I was saying, settle, call Vic's lawyer, settle. I'll help you get in touch with Vic's lawyer. Settle this out. You guys can still fix this. Everything can be fixed. It's fine. Maybe you should settle. You don't want to go through this lawsuit thing. Settle. Why don't you settle? I will help you get to the lawyer. Before this thing blows up, I would help you do it. Just talk to him. Did they? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they did. I suppose I have no actual idea. I mean, they don't mention ever trying to settle. The only settlement discussion ever was Chuck's stuff. You know, that's the only thing I've ever heard about is Chuck's stuff, where Chuck is talking about, where Chuck drafted letters for each of them and then sent it to them, and nobody really liked the letter that Chuck drafted for them, right? And then these guys, despite hearing that Chuck drafted those letters and Vic had nothing to do with it, still think that that was Vic admitting to something. By the way, again, guys, if your friend, coworker, colleague, or whoever gets sued or is suing someone, don't try to settle a lawsuit on their behalf without their buy-in on the stuff. It confuses everybody, okay? And certainly don't promise an apology from a random third party who you haven't asked if they would apologize. So don't promise those things. You have no idea how unreasonable that person may be. Nick, walk yourself through that thought process and tell me what you think you would say if your daughter or wife was in our position. My daughter and wife aren't and wouldn't be in your position. They wouldn't be. Because they would go to the police. if someone actually assaulted them. They would do that. Or they would go to relatives and friends and family at the time of the assault. They would seek help from the people around them. We're different people, Ron. We're different people. And by the way, my wife would trust me enough to tell me and not let me find out about it from a YouTuber years after it happened. Sorry. That's a relationship of trust. One day, hopefully you'll get there. And if I contributed to it, then I can count everything I've done as worth it. If Monica now trusts you enough to stop lying to you by omission, great. You're welcome, by the way, because you still wouldn't know about the jelly bean. You may not even know about the sexual assault if it wasn't for me. The alleged sexual assault. The one that you didn't know about because it didn't happen. I mean, you know that. That's the bad part about this, is like I'm trying to butter this up and really fluff myself because, well, I'm alone in a vault right now. So who else is going to fluff me? But that's a secondary point. You knew that it didn't happen. The question is, do you know what did happen? Well, did you know what did happen? I don't know if you did. I don't know if she told you. Because it was really funny in deposition. Wait, I tell Ron everything. Well, I didn't tell him that. Or that. What else? What else, Ron? Namrick Isto says Vic deserves to have fun. So if my local convention ignores my request, I will buy a VIP ticket for Vic. At Zuma99 says, you think if we gathered a substantial amount of super chats, we could get Nick shorts and Peach so he can invest in some pants? I hate pants. I'm just gonna post pictures of the lower parts of my legs. That'll be my Disney photo album. And I'm gonna put them all up on Instagram. There's just gonna be some hairy legs. That's all you're gonna see. And like the bottom of cuffs of shorts that are too short and that are dad shorts. And I'm going to wear them, and that's it. That's it. So follow me on Instagram for shorts and leg pictures, because that's all you're getting. So you can invest in some pants. Also, I'd like to see Ron try and hit someone who can actually fight back and see how that goes. Yeah. Well, I don't know. He apparently used to be a fighter. Not like a fighter, but he used to get in fights because he was hit and beat, so he had to fight other people. That's what he said. I don't know. Who knows? If he was hit and beat, that's a sad story. But you know, there are people out there who were hit and beat who didn't go hit and beat other people. And certainly didn't do it when they were adults. Def Not Ron Snack Trey Toye says, tell them the thing, Nikki. Oh yeah, that's right, guys. Confession time. I, Nick Rekieta, am frequently late and extremely gay. Not as gay as my shorts, but definitely gayer than Vic's pants. Oh, and thanks for the donation, Ron. Yes, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, here we go. The fact you think his career is worth more or justifies more tact and grace than the emotional trauma of the people he hurt is exactly why you are the worst person to assist him. No, Ron, you're making a fatal miscalculation here. I don't believe you. Neither do thousands of other people. They don't believe you. They don't believe that there was emotional hurt, because if there was emotional hurt, you held on to it. Well, you didn't, because you don't, I don't know, you're not a person or whatever. Your fiance, perpetual fiance, held on to that emotional hurt for something like 10, 12 years before even thinking to mention it, and the entire time pretended like there was no hurt. So we're having trouble buying your story. Because if Vic had assaulted and emotionally hurt Monica in 2007, why was she hugging, kissing, being friends with, pals with, hanging out with, going to dinner with, going to hotel rooms with? Why was she doing all this stuff with Vic for the next 12 years? Why? Why would that happen if she was emotionally hurt? No one believes you. Because you don't manifest the behavior of someone emotionally hurt. You manifest the behavior of psychopaths or liars. Pick one. It's one of those two. Those are the behaviors that you guys exhibited. No one believes you. No one believes that there was emotional trauma. Because you guys didn't demonstrate it. Paul Giannuzio. So I have a feeling this Ronversation will finish with, thank you for your comment. It is harassment. It will be forwarded to the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security. No. That's not the finish. Oh, that would be a great finish. Chance Kelly says, so Nick, I was thinking of taking law classes, but we're living paycheck to paycheck as it is. Don't do it. I know passing the bar would guarantee more pay. No, it won't. But the family are pushing for kids now. Any advice? First of all, children is a decision between you and your wife or husband. I guess I don't necessarily know if Chance Kelly is male or female. Children is a decision between you and your spouse. Your family's thoughts on you and your spouse having kids are informative, but not authoritative. So don't fall into that trap. Don't have or not have kids because your family says one way or the other. Not the way to do it. That being said, taking law classes, it's a huge monetary investment. It does not have a guaranteed payoff. First of all, you have to do well enough in school to pass. That's minimum 3 years you're looking at of classes that you're going to pay a fortune for. You have to pass them and you have to stick with it for 3 years. If you're living paycheck to paycheck now, believe me, it's 3 more years of it. Then after that, you have to pass the bar and get hired in a place where there's enough money to go around. I do not recommend people to go to law classes for a paycheck, ever. Ever. There are easier ways to get paid more than a lawyer. And if you're not in a major metro area and the top 10% of your class, you're not going to get paid those really big amounts. You're just not. So if you want to be a lawyer to be a lawyer, you do that and you enter that suffering through the 3 years of law school. You do that to be a lawyer. Don't do it to get a paycheck. If you want to get a paycheck, go learn a trade or drive a truck or something. You'll make more money over the short and long term than you would being a lawyer. I don't know what to tell you. Talk to other lawyers about it for sure, but that's my advice. I've never discouraged someone from being a lawyer. I would discourage someone for chasing a paycheck by incurring $200,000 worth of debt to chase a paycheck that might materialize 4 or 5 years down the road. So, okay. We wanted to help him identify what in him had been so blind to how his actions impact others. Oh, thanks. So again, they want to help him identify how his actions impact not them, others, right? Because this is cucksent, right? You consent. Well, I don't consent. That's cucksent. That's how that works. And we've seen this from Ron the whole time. All of these videos. Ron, the 2 people in these videos consented to the interaction, and we're having a good time. Well, I thought it was creepy. Well, you aren't important. You're nobody. You're literally zero on the importance scale. You have no place in those discussions, in that consensual relationship. You don't belong there. You're not in it. You have no privity with any of these people. He might not have intended to hurt anyone, but his intention does not determine how another person feels. No, it really does, though, right? Because your intentions actually do matter. They matter a whole lot. Because if I pump gas in my car and someone over there kills themselves because they're mad at the war for oil, that's not my fault. My intention does actually matter there, because all I'm doing is putting gas in my car. Now, if I knew that person hated the war for oil or something and I'm trying to get them to kill themselves, then it matters a whole lot. Then it matters. But you don't get to dictate how someone else lives by your reactions. That's your issue. It really is your issue. Outside of the bounds of criminality, because that's where we in a society have come together to decide that these things are okay and these things are not okay and these things merit punishment and these things don't, right? That's what we did. We codified it in laws. Laws that you specifically state that Vic broke until it was pointed out that that is really a terrible look and that there's no evidence that he did any of that. And now you've walked it back to, well, Vic did something that he didn't intend harm by, didn't mean to harm anybody. Most people are not harmed by, but someone was harmed by, and therefore Vic Man bad. Terrible, no logic, it's garbage, and you know it. You're a scumbag, Ron. You're a scumbag. You did all of this. This is a fucking lie, of course. Let's be very clear. This is a lie. Ron is lying right now. The sad part is I'm not sure he knows he's lying, but this isn't about what some random person felt somewhere. This is the lie. And if we haven't gotten to this by now, if I haven't conveyed this by now, that Ron is so far wrapped up in this, he doesn't even realize it. Ron and Monica weren't going to a war on principle over Vic hugging somebody at a convention. That is not true. No matter what Ron says, that will never be the case. At most charitable, their motives were selfish in that Monica genuinely believes she was emotionally traumatized by the actions of Vic towards her. Not towards random fans that she doesn't care about. Okay? And that's not a slight to Monica. That's really not. She has no business knowing about these interactions and having these things. No fans were contacting Monica and begging her to take a valiant stand against Mean Man Vic. None of that is true. At best, at most charitable, Ron, Monica, and Jamie had some legitimate, in their own minds, concern for how Vic hurt them. And that's why they decided to speak up. Hence, Monica, it happened to me, right? Me. It was never about other people. Ever. This is the hero complex of Ron Toye. Saving all the damsels they can create. But at worst, Vic was someone that they tolerated and never liked. Lied about liking all the time, right? Pretended to like him. And suddenly, Vic came too close to having authority over them, having influence over them, having more of a presence. And he was an out group. And he had to be removed from the in group. So this happened. I don't know. This happened, 10 days after he moved to Dallas? Expecting to be given a director's position at Funimation? What's the more likely outcome? Ron and Monica, after 12 years of suffering in silence, Monica is overcome with a need to suddenly stand up for other people, not her. Other people, not her. Sure. That's right. Where were you for 12 years? Chance Kelly says, I get your point, but it's cheaper to send two $20 super chats than to send $100 super chat, which is the next option available to me. But I've wanted to be a public servant. I've picked cop, fireman, and lawyer. Which would you pick? Oh, man. I'm not a fan of cops, so I wouldn't pick cops. I've always thought being a fireman would be cool. I don't know. That's a big burden to put on somebody. And lawyer's the only one with a $200,000 bill. that's the one that's and that's the upfront bill. It's $200,000 bill. And the likely outcome for many lawyers who are not in a major metropolitan area is making the same salary as a cop or fireman when they get out of law school. You're in a major metro area, if you graduate top 10% of your class, you can do very, very well as a lawyer. If you're not willing to relocate or not able to relocate, if you're not able to put in 60 to 80 hours a week at a big firm, you're going to struggle making more than a cop or a fireman would. So, it depends. Okay. That's the end of the story. He fixes that. He already is great with the majority of fans. That one aspect addressed, he would be good to go. Does anybody believe this? This isn't what they said. This isn't at all what they said. Said he was a danger to people. Not that he had a boundary issue. He was a sexual predator. Well, if he just fixes that sexual predator thing. Are we kidding? The fact he still doesn't understand that a hostile work environments are not acceptable is proof he needs help. How is it hostile? Vic wasn't even there. Vic wasn't even there at the work environment. He would come in on occasion. He records from home. He was usually 1,000 miles away. He lived in LA for all of this time. What hostile work environment? Well, educate me, Nick. My understanding of the GoFundMe is based on Vic's sworn testimony. So did he lie under oath or did you lie to him? No, Ron, we just both agreed to lie to you. That's what we did. In that email that we sent you, that Vic and I sent you together, you know, the one that has both of our email addresses on it that you got, that's where we lied to you about all this to set you up to look like an idiot. Oh, GoFundMe time, by the way. Here is that GoFundMe. We are at $275,310. We've got Zach Johnson. We've got Greg Doucette, Jamie Markey, Monica Rial, Ron Toye, Kaori Nakano, Bruce Wayne, and Anonymous. Thank you guys for donating. You guys are wonderful. Thank you for that. Fantastic. Thank you all. 275,310. My understanding of the GoFundMe. Why isn't your understanding of the GoFundMe based on GoFundMe? Like that's what my understanding of GoFundMe is based on. GoFundMe itself and how they actually function. So we have receipts. You see, we have a habit of that. Where are they? Ron, we've been begging for the receipts the entire time. Did you come out with those receipts about KamehaCon? Or did someone have to force your hand on those texts? Who was that? Who released those KamehaCon texts? Was it Ron who released them? I don't think it was Ron who released the KamehaCon texts. I don't think so at all. Huh. Did Ron even include those in his discovery file? I don't think he did. Let's see. I don't know if I ever got them. Let's see. You remember Ron has the receipts and wanted to make everything public. Oh, that's weird. There's no text messages here between him and KamehaCon. Those didn't come from him. That's strange. Weird. I thought that. Oh, hey, here's that email Ron sent to Vic. Here we go. This must be the email Ron was talking about. Breaking news. Breaking news. I have it. Let's see. Here we go. I feel like I showed this before. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. I don't remember. It's been so long. February 19th at 3:31 p.m. So notice he sent this email after it was announced that Vic had retained legal counsel, I believe. So, take that for what it's worth. You remember the email I sent him? Let's see it. Hello, Rangers. Okay, so he didn't send it to Vic. He sent it to the Risenbull Rangers. I have been very vocal in my position concerning Vic. Oh, have you? I posted pics of what I thought was a swatting, and it turns out it was fake. There are too many fake things going around, and it pisses me off. Oh, what'd you do about it, Ron? Did you call out Samantha Inu Hart for lying about it? Did you call her out, or did you just say, oh, it was fake, somewhere, like in an email to the Risenbull Rangers? I mean, I didn't see them not supporting Samantha Inu Hart or calling her out for lying about it. Swatting. It turns out it was fake. Of course it was fake. Of course it was fake, Ron. I'm not sure this will get to him, but would someone pass my number to him and ask for him to call me? I would like to talk about my feelings concerning what happened with Monica. Oh my word. Oh. And my additional friends he assaulted. Again, here it is. That he assaulted. I assure you I will be professional. He might not have realized how they felt. Ron! Assault is an intentional act. Assault is a crime of intent. You have to intend to assault someone. You don't accidentally assault someone. Assault is intent. And I think he recognizes that he has a weakness. I would like to apologize for how I have acted and extend an olive branch to him. Oh, there you go. So there's the olive branch he was talking about. In an email, not to Vic, whose email address, is out there. It's only everybody else on Earth can figure out how to email him. Just not Ron. Extend an olive branch by saying that he assaulted my friends, by telling other people that he assaulted somebody. Okay, so that's good. I think he can make a comeback, and I don't think he is an evil man beyond redemption. The fans have blown this way out of control, and I want to help make this right. Why didn't you actually reach out to Vic? It's not... Never mind. Maybe have your counsel talk to his counsel. That would have been helpful. Or you guys talk to his counsel. Either way. Monica never wanted him crucified. She wanted him to get help, get better, and come back strong. Sure. That's why all that sexual predator talk happened, right? That's why all that. She didn't want him crucified, though. Ron, we saw her likes and retweets, buddy. We saw it. We saw it all happening in real time. She is going to release a statement addressing that exact thing. She isn't the reason he was fired. She was one of many ladies at Funimation that came forward with accusations concerning Vic. That's a lie, Ron, and you know that's a lie. She came forward with the accusations. We went through this. We've seen her email chains, man. There weren't many ladies at Funimation. That was a lie. You lied again. It's like 5 so far in this email. But the community has now targeted Monica, and now people's safety is on the line. Well, I guess that's been shown to be false, right? It's been a year of their safety being on the line and literally nothing happening to them. Literally zero. Their safety was never on the line. They were never in danger. They were never at risk. They got a fake prank phone call from a recording service. Don't even know who sent it, but someone thought it would be funny to put Sean Schemmel's name on there out of the blue. It could have been Chris Sabat. That's something Sabat actually would do. I don't know if it was Sabat. I have no idea. No one knows. But gaslighting Schemmel? Pulling a prank? Those are things that Sabat is documented to do. Documented acts by Chris Sabat line up with that. They don't line up with other people randomly doing it. Monica told me this morning, and I think he knows this, she would be the first person to help his comeback when the time is right. Notice, when he reached out to Monica to try and fix things before this, she blew him off. She blew him off. He lied about this. How's she helping him? She didn't even respond to him. She instead complained to someone else about what he said. Ron, do you see the problem? Do you see the problem with your olive branch? It's predicated on lies. Demonstrable lies. My cell is redacted. I hope he gets this message. Also, please do not share my number online. People have been harassing us night and day already with calls throughout the night. Have they? Have they? I am trusting this group, and I hope you will not share the number. Ron Toye, sent from my iPhone. There you go. That's the email. If I didn't cover it before, I humbly apologize. I wish I would have pointed out the lies back then. Romeo Garbo says Ron's IQ is lower than the chances of getting food in the Soviet Union. Then again, at least the commies had the guts to kill in person. Now, if you'll excuse me, some nicely dressed men are knocking on my door. Oh, you'll be fine, comrade. It is okay. It's okay. You let them in. They'll help you out. No problem. Have lots of potatoes in bag for you. Little bit of vodka go a long way. Good Lord. We wouldn't be here if you would have left Vic alone and let him honor his promise to fans to get help and reconnect with God. He did that. He did that. He was already doing that, and you were slamming him publicly. Before me. Before I said a word about it, he had said that, and you slammed him publicly before me. You're a liar, Ron. You've rewritten this narrative. Ron, I know people who do this. I've known people my whole life who lie about what actually happened to the point where they themselves don't remember what happened. But go check the dates on your tweets, man. It's long before I said anything. And it's after that thing that you keep pointing to where Vic spoke first. Vic spoke first. Ignore Monica's retweet of the Han Leia stuff. Ignore that. And the Mars Girl stuff. Ignore that. Vic spoke first. Okay. And when Vic spoke like that, you proceeded for the next 20 days, which that's 20 days before I knew anything happened, before I had even heard of the drama. For 20 days, you slammed him in tweets. You wouldn't be here? You wouldn't be here because he'd be gone. And your mission would have been accomplished. You're a liar and a small man who's a coward. But here we are. Yeah, here we are. You're welcome. I hope it's been terrible for you, and I hope it remains terrible for you. At Zuma99 says, what I find funny is throughout this whole process, they referred to some of Vic's victims as survivors, implying that Vic not only sexually assaulted them, but he also committed murder along the way. Yes. Yes. But there are ways to help people that don't involve publicly ruining them and getting them fired from conventions. Like spazzing out on KamehaCon and demanding they remove him, for example. Monica had to know this would ruin him, possibly even kill him. You decided to do it publicly anyway. R.E. the GoFundMe. I said your fantasy extrapolations were fantasy. That statement doesn't mean Vic lied. It means you have a fantasy extrapolation based on what was said. Maybe look up these words. They're big. So, fantasy and extrapolation, huge words, but a GoFundMe mention from me, so we're going to go ahead and count it. We're still at the $275,310. It is GoFundMe.com/F for respects /Vic-kicks-back. So there you go. Let's see. Nice attempt at whit again. Whit. Whit. A whit is a thing, but it's not the thing you're thinking of. But it fails to connect when we consider how inaccurate your understanding is, considering my text with KamehaCon. You do realize professionals have explained those to you in a way a 5-year-old could understand, and you still don't get it? Oh, you mean where you tried to force KamehaCon to cancel someone else's contract, or else you guys would do things like breach Monica's contract and that you would withhold a sponsorship that you were considering giving. I mean, okay. Oh, okay. I guess. Okay. The funny thing is, Ron, I know for a fact that your lawyers have explained that those texts are damning to you. I know that that happened. But Ron, you're a liar. The bad thing, Ron, is that you don't know how I know this stuff. You don't know how I could possibly know that your lawyers knew that those texts should have put T.I. in a bag, zipped it up, and mailed it to you. Right? They knew. You got so lucky that you got Chup. I can't even express how lucky you are that you got Chup. Oh my God. Socialism is for figs says, I'm sending this super chat to answer one question. What is that pink thing on the bottle on the top shelf behind you? A pocket percentage SSY. No, these are Russell Greer's lips. Okay, these are very, very useful. These are Russell Greer lips. I don't know why you would think that this is anything other than Russell Greer's paralyzed face lips, right? Why would you think that this is some sort of sexual toy? Does this look like something, some degenerate thing? No, have you... What's wrong with this? Why don't you know what this is? I can't believe you. How dare you? How dare you? And if you have not watched the Russell Greer streams, I implore you to go back in the back catalog. I think there's a playlist of the Russell Greer streams. They are worth every second of your time. You don't have to clip it. There's hours of that. There's hours of that. Go check out the Russell Greer streams. Go check them out. We've got another one coming up as soon as I can arrange it with Sriracha, but the lips will make a return. It's not complete for some reason. Well, I'll see if I can fix that. Okay, Nix Hex says, Newsflash, Ron, Christians don't exactly take you seriously when you remind them of their imperfect walk with God. Keep up your disingenuous concern for Vic's faith. Fraud. Wow. Wow. And then S. Steele says, texted, talked about their lawsuit. Wonder what happened to that. Texted, talked about their lawsuit. Wonder what happened to that. I don't understand that super chat. Okay. I didn't demand they remove him. I decided to not look into the possibility of sponsoring the event that year. I didn't make threats and you know it. Oh yeah, that's... No, not at all. Not at all. But your game is to try and twist everything to fit your narrative. You're literally... Listen to this guy. Nope. Objection! Ron, it's what you've been doing for days. That's literally why you sent me the message in the first place, and it's so plainly obvious that it's absolutely pathetic. Oh my God. So you can justify how you feel when you consider how horribly this went for him. This went bad? Did it go worse than the alternative? We'll never know, will we? Very convenient for you, Ron and Monica, that now you can spend all the time you want saying how, oh, you would have helped him if it weren't for that meanie on the internet that is not Vic. If it weren't for that other person that we just can't seem to find a single damn link to Vic Mignogna between Vic and this other person. But if it weren't for that other person out there talking about it on the internet, well, we would have helped Vic. Oh, we would have done all this. Oh, la-di-da. Just like, Ron, you're a fucking liar. You know how we know you're a liar? Because you weren't doing it before I talked about it. And you didn't do it after I talked about it. You've tried only to convince yourself that somehow I am working on, like, at Vic's order. You've been trying to do that for 9-10 months despite no tangible link. You haven't been able to provide a single receipt. You've had day after day after day in court, motion after motion after motion. And what does Chup ask you every time? Why do I care about what happens on the internet? He's asking you to give him anything about what happened on the internet. Give him a reason to care. And you can't do it. Your lungless idiot can't do it. Casey the Cuck Eric couldn't do it. Andrea Perez, she's a woman, so you relegated her to not talking to anybody. No one could do it. You couldn't do it ever. Did you ever consider, even once, one time, that I don't work for Vic? And that's why you can't show a shred of it? So you punished Vic for the actions of someone else. It just doesn't make sense for a lawyer 1,000 miles away. It doesn't, does it? So maybe you got it wrong. Why don't you start? You could help Vic at any time, apparently, according to you. You're the superpowered anime hirer and relationship repairer. You could be fixing this now, and you still don't, despite being unable to show a single thing you've claimed. Ever. Why? It's because you're a liar. And it's obvious. Because if you could have shown a link between us, you would have. Here's the problem. I'm just a guy on the internet. And Vic's just a guy that I met in July. But you lied from the start. Because Vic didn't talk about this. And for 20 days, you drug... That's the most charitable we can get. For 20 days, you drug his ass through the dirt. Until Funimation made a public announcement. After that public announcement, I started talking about the case because that's when people told me about it. I had no idea. You don't get to blame me for what you did. You blame everybody else. Well, it's the fans. Oh, it's that lawyer in Minnesota. It's you, Ron. You're the shithead. You're the scumbag. You're the terrible, terrible human in this situation. And you just can't accept it because you are a liar. You're a liar. You're recommending this schlock and you didn't even read it. Because if you did, you'd realize how self and socially unaware you are. It's pathetic. You're a bitch. Eat shit. Again, your fault. He admitted he didn't want to sue, but he did sue because he said he thought he had no choice. Because you guys kept going after him, Ron. You kept going after him. He felt like he needed to sue because you kept going after him. That little email, you sent it on February 19th. We have the tweets that you sent after that. He didn't sue you until April. You kept going after him for months. Blame me? I can't make him sue you. Oh my God. He apologized, admitted he was getting help and reconnecting with God. How many times has he said this? He's stuck on this. He did that, Ron. He did all those things. And you still went after him. You twisted things and forced him to break his promise to the fans. Keep telling yourself that. You threatened to sue him. Do you remember that? Or is that out of your little narrative? You threatened to sue him. You're the worst liar on the planet. You've lied so effectively to yourself that I bet you believe this. Awkward Panda says, hey, Nikki, I hate to do this, but could share my GoFundMe. I'm trying to raise enough money for medical expenses for my fur baby, Cammy, to get surgery on her back. Again, thank you for your help and being so epic. I mean, I don't know how you want to share it. I can't activate links in the chat because the Chinese porn bot spam just fills the chat when I do. If you want to tell people where to go in the chat, I mean, you're welcome to. I can't endorse it. I don't know anything about it. So I can't endorse GoFundMes, but you know, I read every super chat, I read every super chat, so I, read it, but I don't know anything about it. I don't know where to even find it. But if you want to tell people in the chat, go ahead. Nova Zero says, I declare excommunicatus upon the imperious buffoon Ronald Soyorus. I hereby revoke all claims of Christianity and consign this heretic to eternal cuckoldry. May civil litigation account all in balance. The lawman protects. So there you go. And you will have to live with the fact that some might blame you for all of it. Ron, I don't have to live with that fact. I don't have to do anything. Might some people blame me for what happened to Vic? Sure, of course. People blame me for all sorts of stuff that I have nothing to do with. But here's the thing. You creating a fiction in your mind has no impact on me. All I have to do is reflect on what I've done and how it impacted the people that I have tried to impact. That's it. And I'm fine with it. I'm 100% fine with it. My response was, it's wit. Sorry. I couldn't help it. It's wit. It's wit. So here we go. Here's this is X Overdose. I was informed that my video is being used as evidence against Vic Mignogna. I want to say that I had no problem with anything that happened. I asked him to say that line for me. I had no issues with the kiss because I knew it meant nothing. Read, watch, you'll see. I pointed that one out earlier. Then a mentally handicapped person says, it isn't at all appropriate for men in their 50s to be kissing teenage girls they met at a con. Did no one ever explain this to you? Here's that cuck scent thing again. Here's that cuck scent thing again where you consent, even your parents consent, but I don't. But I don't. Okay, but I didn't care. It was a harmless little thing. Even the chaperone I was with didn't care. He's someone I admire and he didn't mean anything by it. It's not like it was a kiss on the lips. It was the back of the head. I didn't care. I didn't feel anything other than joy. So, but you know, really concerned about that whole minors thing. Very, very, very concerned about inserting himself into the affairs of minors there. Absolutely destroys your idiotic narrative, right? Because it does. Oh, God. Look at this. I invited a book. I invited a book. You still don't get it. You have miscalculated this entire lawsuit. How did I do that, Ron? I didn't draft it. I didn't file it. I didn't argue it. I didn't... Huh? All I can do is observe. You know how much easier my life would have been if I could have been involved in the lawsuit? That would have made you guys so happy. So happy to be able to pin me onto it as Vic's agent. That would have been perfect for you. But it didn't happen that way. It didn't happen that way. But as a result of it, I get to just sit and observe like I do with all sorts of lawsuits. That's kind of what my channel does. Right? I don't get to influence the lawsuit. I wish I could many times. Many times. It's easy. It's easy to be on the sideline saying, I would have done this, I would have done that. It doesn't mean anything in the long run. We can only look at it with hindsight. I would have loved to be able to do it because I would have loved to be able to make you pay. That would have been great. That would be so funny. I hope to God that the appeals go well and that Ty gets to do that. I really do. I wish I could. I didn't have the resources to fight a lawsuit in Texas where I'm not licensed. Man, I wish I did. I wish I did. I wish I did. I wish I had the staff and the licensing to do it. I would sue you all day. I'd sue you 200 times. I'd sue you on behalf of other people. I'd sue you just for fun. I'd sue you for me. It'd be great. We just keep suing you and ruin your whole life. It'd be funny. But I don't. Can't do that. If you still can't see that the video isn't proof, but an example of inappropriate interactions by a person in their 50s and a position of power, I walked up to this man and paid him to say a line from an anime he voiced that I liked. That's not inappropriate. It's not. You don't get to just rewrite the rules of society because you don't like something. It's not inappropriate. It's fine. The inconsistency is baffling. It's baffling. These people are fine with DC Douglas grabbing a woman's breast because she consented. They're not fine with Vic kissing someone on the back of the head who consented. You have really done a disservice to Vic. Oh, okay. Sure. You're ever the servant, Ron, so I'll take your advice. Times changed and he needed to catch up. No, times didn't change. That's the crazy thing here. In the real world, that is not a bunch of narcissistic fat divas running around pretending that people are sexually attracted to them because they voice an anime waifu. In the real world of human interactions, this shit is harmless. It's harmless. And if there is harm, if somebody doesn't like it, they just tell the other person and then the boundary is erected and it's fine. That's how we deal with things. That's how things are dealt with in the real world, where real people have real interactions, not Twitter-based interactions. He was doing that, but you convinced him to sue. I mean, keep running with it, buddy. You convinced him to sue. You're the idiot who kept going after the man through the filing of the lawsuit and after. Ron, between January and the lawsuit being filed, you tweeted 350 something times at a minimum about Vic in derogatory and defamatory ways. You did that. You did that. That's from January through April. Well, through half of April when he sued you. He promised the fans that he was getting help and reconnecting with God. He's broken. He's broken and stuck on this. He doesn't know what to do about it. You made us out to be monsters, while the only monster was the person profiting from the pain. Profited from pain. Who profited from pain? What does that even mean? Whose pain? Your pain? I would profit from your pain and Monica's pain all day. All day. I don't care about you. Unlike you, I'm not going to lie to you about how much I care about your well-being and your personal development. I don't care. I don't care about you or Monica. If you guys died tomorrow, again, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It will not impact my life in any significant way other than I guess I'd have to talk about it on my show or something. That'd be weird. I guess then I'd profit from your death. Ha ha. Welcome to it, Ron. Nobody cares. See, nobody cares. I don't care about you. I don't profit from your pain, sure. If that's what it takes. But that's not the goal. Vic's pain? Did I profit from Vic's pain? Maybe I profited from his pain. I don't know. I talked, people watched. That's it. People participated in the show like they did before Vic, like hopefully they'll do after Vic. But does that, if I'm a monster, I'm fine with it. Here's the difference, Ron. I'm okay being the monster. The problem is you're the monster who's not okay with it. You hurt Vic and you hurt the fandom and you should acknowledge that. Oh, there you go. Yes, I hurt the fandom. You care about the fandom now, right? The fandom who you berate and belittle and have for the past year. Do I berate and belittle the fandom? No. Never. I still tell people to go visit your weirdo, your fiance. I still tell people to. Go, you know, like buy her autograph and stuff if you like her. I don't tell people to go bother her. Support her work. I don't care. You're irrelevant to me. So is Monica. I should have hurt Vic and hurt the fandom. I hope I didn't hurt Vic. I really do. The one time I did feel like I hurt Vic, I did apologize to him, right? Because I said some mean things. So predicated all this. I think you thought there was an opportunity here that didn't really exist. He isn't an evil guy. Oh, now you say it's Ron. Newsflash: Ron Toye thinks sexual predators aren't evil. He's a dude who grew up in a generation that some of the stuff he did was acceptable, but still not appropriate. No. It was appropriate then too. It didn't stop being. It certainly wasn't not appropriate, and it certainly isn't not appropriate now. Platonic displays are typically fine. This is so crazy. This is so crazy. All he needed to do was adapt his style to work on his emotional intelligence. You tried to convince everyone we wanted him destroyed or dead when we wanted him to get better and make a comeback. No, Ron, that's a convenient narrative to have after you got everything you wanted and then everything was shoved back in your face. It's convenient now to say that you got all of that stuff or that you would have done it. It's easy. You never have to. You never had to fulfill it and you knew you wouldn't. Because it wouldn't be time yet. It's just not time yet. And then by the time it was time, you would say, oh, it's great that Vic apologized. And then nothing would happen for him. And you'd say, well, too bad we tried. Right? What good would that? What good would it do? What was your plan to actually get him back to work? You said you can't hire him. What was your plan? Lay it out. I mean, you don't have one. You're going to just figure that out a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road when you, the arbiters of morality, have decided that he's better enough. You won't have been able to base that on anything because he wouldn't have been at conventions because he would have had to give that up. And he wouldn't have been acting in anime because he would have had to give that up. So you wouldn't have anything to base on whether he was actually better or not. But it sounds really nice to say you would have helped him when he was better. What would he do? Would he include you in his therapy sessions? Give you a letter from his doctor? Oh, he's cured now. Good God. Whew. It's in the record, in her statement in my email. Before there was a lawsuit, before there were lawyers. Oh no, Ron. There were lawyers before your statement. I had mentioned them. I had mentioned that Vic was lawyering up. But there was a lawyer before that. You knew that too. If I could talk with him today in person, I would give him the exact same response and help offered, even after all this. Why haven't you done it? Listen to this guy. I would do this. I would do this. If I could. If only I could. If only he appeared publicly at events that you could go to. If only you could reach out through a lawyer to talk to his lawyer to set up this sort of talk. If only you called him or emailed him. If only you did any of it. Any of it. If only you suggested to a convention, for example, that they bring Vic on board, one that had Monica there, where you guys could talk and talk things out. If only you did anything of the sort. You never have. It's been a year. You've never done this. And you could. Anybody can go see Vic all over the earth. Could have gone to KamehaCon. Talked it out there. No, we're unsafe. How? How are you ever unsafe? Would have been much safer at KamehaCon than with Mall Ninja at that stupid shop, the card shop. That was embarrassing. You and your 70-person hug box, with 12 of those people being Dominic Sky's ass implants. Oh my goodness, an embarrassment. Because I think he does love the fans and will do what it takes to be a better man. Oh yeah. Yeah, your advice is that's what he needs. I don't blame him for all the craziness online. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Ron. You absolutely do. Why are you holding him? You held him accountable for the craziness online before I even started. You blamed the fans. You blamed everybody but you. Yes, you do. You of course hold him responsible. You're admitting for days that you're punishing him, but then you say you don't hold him responsible? Why? Why are you lying to yourself? Jesus Christ. I know he is scared. I blame the only people who profited on this lawsuit being filed, and that would be you and the other YouTube influencers. Yeah, it's our fault. It's all our fault. When this is over, I'm going to reach out to him and offer it, and it's up to him. But he needs real friends who will tell him what he needs to hear and will be there to help pick up the pieces after you and your thugs destroyed him. Look at the projection. This is the most embarrassing bullshit I have ever read. So here's my response. It's not inappropriate, you socially retarded dimwit. It's a normal interaction that is non-sexual but affectionate. Look, you're an abusive pile of shit, so maybe you need boundaries that others don't, but your narcissism doesn't flow into other people. So, there you go. There you go. Nick, if you can't see that the behavior is inappropriate, I feel sorry for you. Oh, so, whew. You're feeling sorry for me. That did it. Now I change everything. I change everything. But I can't wait for all this to be over so that I can show from the beginning when people would DM me upset about Vic, I would encourage them not to give up on him. Keep supporting him and remind them of his statement about getting help. I have the receipts and people are starting to see just how toxic your influence over him has been. Oh, good. Good. Maybe they'll blame it all on me, and maybe you could just blame it on me and stop ruining his life, you fucking fascist. You pile of garbage. Just Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. My influence over him. Holy Christ, your delusions are amazing. Ron, if that interaction is inappropriate, Monica is as guilty as Vic. And I say more so because she weighs more than him. Well, maybe not anymore. She's got her workout program now. Well, people can have that opinion if they want. We live in a free country. Do we? It's in the record, his words, not mine, that he didn't want to sue but felt he had no other choice after speaking with you. So are you calling him a liar? This is his read, guys. Now notice, that's not actually in the record or what he said. That's not in the record or what he said. This guy's a delusional monster. You wanted it more than him. You started raising money before even talking with him. Yeah, again. Never mind. I've said it so many times, but we've got an implied GoFundMe mention. Here we are, $275,375. Spank Daddy Cheek Slaps, father of Cheek Slaps. So I have a feeling $10 is going to get refunded. Jacqueline Batal, Anonymous. And Zach Johnson, thank you. Thank you for your donations. Very much appreciated. Let's see. I'm saying that you literally don't understand words. Holy shit, this is the dumbest take yet. You inserted words into his testimony to fit your fantasy. Good Lord, man. You're not just a liar, but a zealot. And this was a realization for me. This was a legitimate realization for me that Ron is a zealot. He's a true believer, right? A fanatical true believer. He's a zealot. He's willing to convince himself of an alternative reality to fit his delusion. So did you not start the GoFundMe before you spoke? Good Christ, you're an idiot. You weren't listening and can't read. Is it you or Lemoyne who is stupider? I literally can't tell. Is this your interpretation or his? Because I'm dying laughing here at how stupid this is. I genuinely wonder if this is Ron or Lemoyne. I mean, they're both broken, disgusting people. So both their entire narratives are predicated on lies. I don't know how else to say it. I wish it weren't so, but it seems to be so. So, I mean, I legitimately don't know if this is Ron or if this is Lemoyne's words. But that being said, by the way, pro tip, don't ever answer questions. Don't do it. There's no reason. There's no reason to answer these questions. They've been answered plenty of times. But this is he's been fishing. I think he's running out of steam getting insulted, but here we go. I really hope you got that reading from your brain AIDS riddled ball of emphysema, because that would mean you actually got billed for it. There we go. So I had to accurately convey the laugh there. Nick, I can tell you are triggered, smiley face. Have a great day, wink face. Oh, okay. The funny thing is, Ron, one of us has admitted to his trigger, his trigger tell being emojis, so I have to interpret this as you being triggered, which is weird. Hose mad, hose mad, hose mad. Oh my God. Sure, Jan. Smiley, 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 smiley. He did heart that one for me. He liked it. He liked it though. Well, we've got a video. I love when Ron provides a video for us. Let me get this set up. Cause we have to have the videos correct. So this video is 2 minutes and 17 seconds long. Here we go. This is the Vic Mignogna at SatCon 3115, the coffee line haters. So this is let's just see. Here we go. Remember, you encouraged the lawsuit, wink face. You are a journalist and a lawyer. Did you even research? Okay, let's see what revelatory thing he has here in the form of this video. I hope this doesn't blow out your speakers.
About earlier, that I must be some kind of a pedophile because I become the coffee line with people. And it's creepy and it's pervy. And why do I do this with girls?
Notice the fans. No, it's not. It's perfect. Okay, so he's saying that there's rumors out there that he shouldn't, or there are people out there who say he shouldn't do the coffee line because it's creepy and it's pervy. Now, people being wrong about something doesn't make that something so. Okay, that's the amazing thing here. Look, he's addressing the rumors. No, it's not rumors. It's people suggesting something ludicrous. There's a big difference between someone saying Vic is a pedophile and saying, I don't like this line because I think that this line is pedophilic. Okay, you're retarded and need to probably go, it's a short trip to the back of the bus. You need to do that and sit down over there. No one wants to hear your opinion because this is him reciting a line from an anime with fans. That's it. There's nothing more to this interaction. And if you think otherwise, you are a danger to children and you should get help. You should get help in whatever form that takes. Okay? So here we go. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
Because they asked me to!
Here. Sorry.
Because they asked me to! Was the answer!
They asked him to do the line!
You're beautiful anyway.
Anyway.
You're beautiful anyway. Who cares?
I love you, man.
Oh, he expressed love to a minor and a male. I don't know if that guy's a minor. That was a joke. See, that's the silly. I found it very uncomfortable that he said, "I love you, man," to that guy in the audience. I don't consent to that. Well, you're an idiot. Who cares what you think?
I'm serious. I'm serious. Do you guys feel what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
I love you guys, and I love doing fun things and giving you guys.
We love you too.
And you guys a fun experience.
Play this in court, Ron. Play it. Oh God, if this gets past appeals, I hope to God Ron brings this into court. Like, look at how inappropriate this is, so that they can just crucify him and light him on fire in the courtroom. Please.
And there are people out there that are so unhappy that they want, you know what I mean? That they spread horrible rumors and say mean, hateful, hurtful, slanderous lies about people. Because
Holy shit, he calls them lies at the thing. He flat out says they're slanderous lies. He clearly... It's amazing. It's amazing.
they're so desperate for attention.
Attention whores.
And they want to take this kind of fun thing.
They're known as attention whores.
Don't let them do that, alright? Do you hear that one?
Where was he when I was in middle school?
So my point is that I enjoy doing things for fans when they ask if I would do it. And that's why I do it. And it's not to be weird. And I hope you guys will help me curtail that kind of garbage talk when people say. So, do you know your lines? Karen, do you know your lines? One second, I'm going to check into the rehearsal. Here she is.
Oh, he was just licking her hair there and eating it.
This is for all you moron haters out there.
I don't know if I can do this. My father would get mad at me.
You know, you think that you can
Whoops. Hold on. That pulled back up. So, there you go. There you go. That's another one of Ron's gotchas. Guys, I know it may seem like I am orchestrating Ron's links, right? That would be the greatest grift of all time, was if I hacked Ron Toye's account and sent this to me. I should have done that. I should have thought about that long ago, but I didn't. I didn't do that. I wish I had. But no, he's legitimately this stupid. Again, bring this to court and play it. For the love of God, please do it. Look, there were rumors for years. No, he said that some people say this and that's lies, it's slander, it's wrong, it's silly, and everybody in the room loved it. This is a consensual interaction that is just fine. But he whispered in her ear. So what? Like, so what? Could you, I mean, just please, please, please. Oh, God. All right. You're clearly the dumbest person when whatever room you enter. It's amazing. Everyone in that room disagrees with your stupid concern trolling. He acknowledges that the line is for consenting fans who make the request. Then a consenting fan makes the request and he does it and everyone cheers. That is the most non-offensive interaction possible unless you are socially retarded. And again, I guess since he didn't whip out a remote and threaten to murder everyone in the room, this must be confusing to you. So there you go. That was my response. But he chose to sue a few people, a major studio, based on the advice of a lawyer who crowdfunded money without his initial consent. Consent is such a big issue for Ron. Sent him to a horribly underqualified family estate planner who sent the referral source privileged info. What privileged info? What privileged info have I gotten, Ron? Interestingly, you've said that you haven't talked to Vic, and the only way you could know if I ever got privileged info would be as if Vic told you. That's the amazing thing. You can't make that claim because you wouldn't know what info I got that would be privileged. You can't make the claim. It's an impossibility for you based on everything we know about what you've said. I mean, unless you're lying and you're actually talking to Vic and he said it. And if so, I mean, arrest me or whatever. But pretty sure that hasn't happened. There's a bunch of stuff I wish I knew, but I can't because that's actually privileged. But your email, that wasn't privileged, Ron. Your deposition wasn't privileged, Ron. Affidavits, all of that stuff, they're not privileged, Ron. You don't understand the words you're using. It's like you have a whole team of lawyers and you don't ask them about this stuff. JXTBX says, I need the timeline cleared. His lawyer told him TCPA would fail because of context. Why did they inflate the hours worked if they'd take a haircut? Also, our cam girl uploaded to YouTube vid on if hen tying is art, who'd tie a chicken? Oh, hen tying. Okay, gotcha. Why did they inflate the work hours if they take a haircut? Because they're going to get paid either way, right? Either Ron and Monica are going to pay them or Vic's going to pay them. I mean, they fought the KamehaCon texts. Of course, they'd have to fight them. They'd have to oppose all of that. And they ended up winning. They ended up winning on it. We'll see if it holds on appeal, but they didn't think they were going to win on it. So, you know, there you go. Lost the lawsuit, owes a ton, filed an ill-advised appeal that doubled the amount owed. When I got called out on my bad behavior, I owned up to it, apologized, God help, made a comeback. Ron, you beat women and threatened to murder children. Let's not make equivalency here. You beat women, and when you weren't beating them, you were threatening to kill them and their children. You were threatening them into silence. Ron, you were an abusive piece of garbage. You were so abusive that your current wife conspired with your ex-wife to record you making a murder threat that they knew you would make. That's how horrible you were. The people in the interaction didn't consent. Jesus. And now I can help other guys who are in a situation similar to what he was in and I was in so many years ago. Oh my God. Listen to the delusion and the projection. Well, we're in this together. No, Ron. No one has ever complained that Vic beat them. Vic hasn't threatened to murder anyone. He wasn't in court over this stuff. You were. Multiple times. Oh my God. You seem to confuse the issue. The room has an opinion. People online have an opinion. No, no one's confusing the issue. But when you have a person who is suing over his reputation being tarnished, that is online in videos talking about how he knows what people will say about him online if he does what they ask him to do and then he does it, he is opening up the discussion for debate. Nope. No. He actually shut it down. He flat out said back in 2015 that the things being said in 2015 were slanderous lies and that they were silly, and the audience agreed with him. He didn't sue anybody over those 2015 comments, Ron. He sued you and your fiance and Jamie Markey in Funimation over their statements in 2019, specifically from January to April. That's it. That's what he sued over. That's where the damage was done. That's where the defamation occurred. Damages is a crucial element of defamation. So until damages actually manifest, you could say nasty things about people. You can do it. And if damage doesn't manifest, then it's not actionable defamation. But you guys said the stuff and then everything bad happened. That's actionable. That's when this stuff all happens. Okay. You failed him, and so did your buddy. He should have stuck to his original promise. He did. You didn't give him a chance. You hammered him the day after that apology, I think. Actually, I don't know that for sure. But the week after, 2 weeks after, 3 weeks after, 20 days. Keep convincing yourself of that story. It's been working really, really well for you, and you're really good lawyers so far. I'm sure your fantasy will continue to serve you well in the future. I have bad news for you. You didn't own up, get better, and make a comeback. You're still an abusive asshole, and the whole world can see it over the past year. You haven't changed, you just stopped having the opportunity to victimize the old victims. You've moved on to new ones. You're a danger, Ron, because you don't see this, and your behavior is destructive and awful. See? Sometimes I'm helpful. Sometimes I'm helpful. Wink face. Again, Ron is never triggered. Remember that. He uses emojis to control his rage. Doesn't like being called an abuser. Doesn't like being told he's not better. Really hates that, actually. Oh, have you ever listened to the audio of my deposition with the volume enhanced on Ty? Wink face. Man, it's awesome having receipts. All your lies and manipulations are unraveling. Smile. Smiley face. Okay. And then here is the last one. Oh, he blocked me. He blocked me. Oh no. Oh, what a cuck. Oh, poor Ron. What kind of weird nonsense are you blabbering about now? This is the end. The end of Ronversations. Until something else triggers him, right? This is the end. Oh no. Oh man. He won't tell me now. What did Ty say? With the volume enhanced on Ty. Man, it's great having receipts. Oh God. Oh, now I want to know. Oh, he implanted it in my brain. He brain raped me. Now I'll never know. I'm the triggered one, though. Oh. Hey, Ron, whenever you see this, I will sorely miss calling you a deranged, dangerous lunatic. So, I'm not a bitch, so I don't block people. So you can, you know, it's open, man. Anytime, it's open. So, there you go. There you go. That's the end. Now I'm sad. Now I'm sad. This is new. This happened sometime, I believe, between me posting the link to the show and the show starting. So I don't know exactly when he did it, but that's new. I've not seen that message before. Man, it's too bad. Too bad. I like to think he watched this today. Ron, if you're out there, thanks for watching, pal. You'll be in my thoughts and prayers. I really want you to get better. I really care about it. Oh my God. Don't take it out on Monica though. Buy her a dog so you can threaten that. That'd be better. That'd be better than taking it out on her. Oh God. So those are Ronversations. Those are Ronversations. It's too bad, really. It legitimately is sad to see someone who is so unaware that they are horrifically abusive. Again, notice a difference here. I am a jerk. All right? I'm a jerk. I know this. I'm fine with it. I've made peace with being a jerk. I am some might even say I'm an asshole. I'm okay with that. I will mock and ridicule people. Have my whole life. Thought about getting over it. I'm just kind of okay. I'm resigned to it. It's what I do. What I don't do is I don't initiate contact with people. I don't bring it to their door. I don't encourage harassment. I don't do anything that would force the person to see what I'm doing. I don't, I just laugh from over here because I'm a jerk. There's a big difference between being a jerk and being an abuser. Now, Ron, back in, let's see, when did this start? This is January 28th. I don't know. I guess it's going to just freeze out on loading it, but this is January 28th, so whatever. Ron will spend, I can find that initial date, just a second. Let's see. I think it was just the 27th. Yeah, it was, or no, it was the 28th. Yeah, it looks like it was the 28th at 11:55 a.m. Ron reached out to me, January 28th. Nope, before that. Sorry, January 19th. January 19th. And he started with, lol, now I know you are just a pathetic gamer who is obsessed with a voice actor. I thought you were a professional and was bothered that someone who invested in a career as a lawyer would be so vile and not even look into the validity. You were the worst thing to ever happen to him, and I hope you remember that your tactics to save his career is what destroyed everything. Told everyone he was going to get help and work on himself. You know what Monica said in her statement when I emailed him. You twisted it to fit your narrative and agenda. I hope he is starting to see through you and his fake friends and fake fans. I would suggest a few books to read. So this is my point. This is the difference between a jerk and an abuser, right? So an abuser reaches out to someone, doesn't let them escape the abuse. They put the abuse in front of them, and then they do various things. So Ron reached out on January 19th to start the process of trying to convince me that I destroyed someone else. And he had to put that to me. That he was compelled to do so. That's abuse versus just ridicule. There's a big difference. I don't care. I'm not complaining about the abuse. I'm not emotionally traumatized by Ron because I don't need to shop for these types of books, Ron. I actually know how to deal with myself and with other people without the help of some pop psychology. Okay? I got it. But anyway, this is what an abuser does. And Ron has never gotten over it. He's still an abuser. He's just changed his targets. He's lashing out. He's hurt. He's wounded. They were ready for the lawsuit. No, you weren't. You're not. No one's ever ready for this stuff. There's no ready for it. I told you guys this. I tried to tell you. You didn't listen. But, But here's the thing. You guys could have settled it all out. That would have been up to you. Who knows what would have happened? I'm not going to pretend that I will say exactly what would have gone on for the rest of time after that. Oh, I would have helped you get back into... I don't know what would have happened. You guys had the chance to work things out, and you chose not to. I tried to give you the opportunity. I won't say what would happen after that. I can only say what happened. Unlike you, I'm not going to create a delusional fantasy to justify my behavior. My behavior is justified by what I did, and that's fine. So, Big Mac 12290 says, "Hey Nick, first super chat." Hey, thanks, buddy. Oh, Fist super chat. Fist super chat. Might Ron be talking about when Ty got angry at Ron's lawyer at the time, telling his partner to be quiet? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Figget Tree says, if Ron gets a dog, he should take his anger out on the hairy, smelly, ass-licking member of the household, Monica. Oh, gross. Really gross. But, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's what I got for Ronversations. I do not reach out to these people. I prefer to laugh from a distance. But if they're going to reach out to me, oh, I'm going to talk to them for sure. I mean, it's interesting. Getting in the mind of these. It's maddening. It's mind-numbing in many ways. But you got to know what these people are thinking. And of course, I do it, benevolently and beneficently for you guys, right? That's no, but I do like to share this stuff. I found it fascinating. The conversation was fascinating. I don't think Ron was as stimulated by it. Maybe he's going to buy another book to help analyze what I said to him and find out how I'm awful. And he'll read that book so he can recommend it to me. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, oh boy. The Dalai Lama succinctly explains how to deal with emotions creatively and employ our intelligence in a beneficial way. Whew. All right. Well, I guess maybe we should read some chats and wrap up the show. Starting to get a little warm here. I did get a desk fan from a fan from a fan, but I haven't opened it up yet. So I should have that on for tomorrow. So that's fun. I should have opened it up tonight. That would have been helpful. I wasn't melting a minute ago. Maybe I'll go get it for the Twitch stream. Oh my goodness. All right. So we will be doing Twitch after the show. I think I'm going to try. I did Doom last night. I think I'm going to try Commando challenges again. I know some of you hate Risk of Rain. That's okay. But I'm determined to get a good enough Commando run for the Commando challenges. So we'll try that for a little while, and maybe I'll have some assistance from some sweet tea. When's the soy remote coming? I don't know. I gotta get some wave files, clipped out for that. Oh, Nick going Commando. Man, I wish. Oh, I'm so itchy. Also, I put out a short video today. I hope you guys like those short video content. It's about the Equal Rights Amendment and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who's basically dead, but kind of shutting it down, or not really shutting it down, but indicating that maybe she's not in support of adding it to the Constitution. That's going to be a legal battle coming up. So if you want to check it out, check it out. If you don't, you don't have to. It's cool. So stream the Darksiders series. I actually have most of them. I don't know why I would do that though. But let me read these super chats and justice chats, and then we'll go to the Twitch. So you're welcome to come over there. Mario Carter 13 says, you've had a bit too much to think, Nikki. Shill the GoFundMe. Oh, I guess I could do that one more time. Here we go. Here's the last look at the GoFundMe. We've got $275,401. Corey Bradley, Reno McDallas. Thank you guys for your contributions. I really do appreciate it. It's very helpful. Oh, also, some of you may have seen an article from Cernovich talking about how the new arbitration rules in California spell disaster for companies like Patreon. I talked about this a little bit before with Indiegogo. These companies are they're in hot water. They're in hot water. They all forced arbitration provisions on all of us. And then now those arbitration provisions are coming back to bite them. I'll probably be talking about this very soon. Guys, this is legitimately a weapon. A weapon. And every single platform like Indiegogo, platforms like Kickstarter, platforms like Patreon, who have those forced arbitration provisions, if they cancel a creator, oh boy, it's not good for them. It's not good. The skinny on it is basically, you have a contract with me, right? Here's how Indiegogo works. If you support my Indiegogo project, you and I have a contract. You don't have a contract with Indiegogo, and Indiegogo, well, they have a contract with the creator, but not with the consumer, okay? So here's the interesting thing. If Indiegogo shuts down a campaign, they have prevented a contract between you and me from being executable. Like, they've interfered with that. That's something about tortious interference with the contract, right? So all we have to do is then allege that the interference is improper. Now, when you file an arbitration claim in California, for example, you have to pay $200 for your filing fee. Indiegogo has to pay the rest of the arbitration fees, and under the new rule in California, they have to pay them like within 30 days. That's, you pay $200, they pay 10 to 20 grand. Okay? That's the disparity here. Now, think about this with an Indiegogo campaign that maybe has 1,000 backers. You get one person to file, you have 10 to 20 grand. You get 10 people to file, you've now put out $2,000 on your side, and they have to put up 100 to 200 grand. You get 100 people to file, and we're talking millions of dollars. It's devastating. It's devastating. And the best part is they forced it on us. You don't get to negotiate out the arbitration provision. Patreon has a similar thing. Suddenly we have these companies nuts in very big vices. We can just turn the wheel. Turn the wheel. So very interesting to see what will happen. But I'll be talking about that more in the near future. Hopefully I'll be able to go on the Dick Show and talk about it. I don't know if I'll be able to this week. I'm going to try, but with my trip, we'll see. But I'll be talking about it on this channel as well. So it's great. It's great. It's going to change the interactions. It's going to make them own up to their bad behavior in some way, and they're going to have to change it. They're going to have to change it. And those changes will largely be probably beneficial to creators and consumers. So we'll see, though. All right, back to this. Some nobody says, petition, rename Monica Horsica, Horse Al Justice. Okay. Nick Surge, welcome to channel membership. Thank you so much for joining. Rural says late and gayer than Paul Lindy. Basement Troll Production says, Nick, please don't argue with Twitter idiots. They want you to respond poorly so they can report you. It can be funny, but it's harder to promote the GoFundMe 1-year anniversary with your account banned. Listen, if I would have thought that calling John Michael Kelly stupid would trigger that pussy to file a Twitter complaint and get me a temporary ban for saying the word stupid, well, I just wouldn't have done it. But that was the softest insult I could think of, but apparently it was too strong for that fragile little baby. So yeah. Don't worry. The Twitter account will be fine. That was just completely unforeseen that would be anything. And make no mistake, by the way, that's all it was. Those 3 tweets are what Twitter sent to me. That's it. There's nothing else. I know someone else tweeted, just so you guys know, this is how it works. If like 100 people report the same account, and those reports are outstanding at the time the account receives some sort of disciplinary action, all of the people who reported it get notice that the account violated the rules. Even if they didn't report the stuff, even if they didn't report the same thing, like they reported something else. So just so you know, that's how that works out. It doesn't mean that there's subsequent bans and stuff. I know that some people thought that my Twitter account got banned again because someone else tweeted out that they got the report that I violated the rules against hateful conduct. No, it's still the same JMK tweets where I called him stupid and said he couldn't read. Both of which I believe to be true. Just based on his demonstrated capabilities. Baal of Babylon says, what's your professional opinion about the chances the Vic appeal goes Vic's way, percentage-wise? I have no idea. I have no idea. We don't even have filings yet. We've got 6 more days for filings to be due, and we can't make any predictions until we actually see what the appeals team starts to put together. What happens if the appeals court upholds Chupp's decision? Are there other steps he can take? I mean, he could. He could petition the Supreme Court for review. That would be a possibility. The Supreme Court, whether they would take it up on review is an open question. No, sorry. Let me be clear. It is an open question, but it's a low possibility. It's just very unlikely that they would take it up on review. So, at that point, it's up to Vic. Maybe it's time, if he loses on appeal, maybe it would be time to stop fighting and focus on building his career out and just let the things be where they lay. I mean, he doesn't have to make any admissions or anything like that. It could just be over. Or he could go for the Supreme Court and try it out. That'll be up to him. What other steps he can take? Well, he could take the fight, to Twitter if he wanted to. He could make it as public as he wants it to. He could say whatever he wants when the lawsuit is over. That'll be up to him. But the unfortunate thing for the defendants is that they will always have defeated him on a procedural motion. They won't have defeated him substantively on the merits of the claims. The judge will have said that there were no claims. So people will have to take that how they will. And that'll be, again, that's up to Vic. And we're getting ahead of ourselves. We haven't even seen what the appeal filings look like. All right. Dragon Fist 900 says, sounds almost as bad as Rail's assertion about strong women and birds of prey. Oh, I saw that. Her trying to fluff off Margot Robbie. FYI, movie sucked. Don't see it. You'll thank me later. Well, I don't see very many movies these days. That one was certainly not on my list. Dragon Fist 900 says, meant to put Rial in that last chat. Well, you put Rails. We knew what you meant. Some nobody says, Ron, your horse B1CH not wife, kicked your dixing off. I don't know what a dixing is. Some nobody says, is that so you can emotionally connect with horses? Gross. John Taylor says, Chris hooked to Ron. Leave Nick alone, you gay boy. Some nobody says, there's only one ham planet. That's Marchie. So I listened to the Dick Show for this week. I listened to it today because I had a long drive, so I got to listen to the whole thing. And God, that guy Negative XP who did the Ramona Flowers song. Oh, it was so funny. Oh, it was so perfect because there's someone who likes to LARP as Ramona Flowers on Twitter, and I thought it was perfect. It was perfect. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know where to find it. The song was great. Frederick says, hey, Nick, I'm a big fan of your law-splaining live streams. Also, I'll be attending Kitchener KamehaCon. I look forward to meeting you and Vic Mignogna in person. Yeah, come find me. That'll be great. That'd be great. Timothy Reaper says, if you're staying in a Disney-owned hotel, no, we're not. Be careful that the mouse doesn't try to claim your stream. That applies to stream and stream. Eric R says, I pulled a Rekieta today and got hired for a sales job despite not being good at sales. Wish me luck. Oh, well, see you in 6 months when you're looking for a new job. Good luck, buddy. No one important says, maybe Ron is using you via these messages to get their message across on YouTube. Just a thought. Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. That was definitely Ron's intention. I don't think there's any illusion about that. The Sean2W3 says, Nick, psst, hey Vic, sue them. Vic, what was that? Hey, I gotta GoFundMe, sue them. But they were my friends. Was. There you go. Andrew War Snowboard says, if paying taxes is charitable, can I write off paying my taxes on my taxes? I hear the IRS is a 501c3. You heard wrong. You heard wrong. Some nobody says, did he get his chin punched in or is that genetic? I think it's nurture or whatever. Angry Baneling says, Nick, Dark Souls 2 and 3 when I get back from Disney. There's some prime real estate I want to show you in those games. We'll send you positively spiraling, old chap. 8. No, when I get back. I don't want to start a new game right before leaving. Definitely not Ron. Ron Snack Tray Toye says, Ron Demption. Check the GoFundMe. I did. And then Frederick says, hey, Nick, I'm a big fan of your Lost Planning live streams. Also, I'll be attending Kitchener KamehaCon. I look forward to meeting you and Vic in person. Hey, I feel like I just read this one, but it's actually a repeat. And I look forward to meeting you too, buddy. Come find me. Keldeo the Horse says, was Vic really going to get a directorial role? That's what I've heard. From multiple sources inside Funimation. So, that was the rumor mill. Mario Carter 13 says, Monica played age 500 elf, rated worse than GILF. Some nobody says, this is the third Ron Toye. Let that sink in. Ick. AGK says, the most damaging thing about Ron in that email, the most vile, disgusting, and black and white shapes on that page, sent from my iPhone. Midnight in Exile says, the day we find out that Ron has XX DNA, you are all going to S my D. Rogue says, I think it's been mentioned somewhere that Ron never finished school. That explains where this exceptional level of stupid is coming from, possibly. Could be. Some nobody says, lazy right to hard judge saved your ass, Ron, lol. Some nobody says, all Democrat president candidates kiss babies. Pedos? Ooh, very inappropriate. Some nobody says, so much for female empowerment, can't consent. No one important says, Monica Rial now has her own online shop and is selling her autograph for $50 from afar and a pic of her signing it. Money troubles, moron? Would anybody buy that? 50? I mean, 20 maybe. 50? Rhinoceros Rex. What's truly disturbing is that we see how much they project themselves onto others. How much of the stuff that they accuse Vic of is projection. All of it. All of it. I mean, Ron is ripe with projection. I'm here to help guys who are in a similar situation. Vic wasn't in any situation even close to you. Even close. The worst you could say is Vic cheated on his fiance. He didn't beat her. He didn't threaten to murder her. Romeo Garbo says Ron's parents were twins. It explains everything. Nobody says Vic needs Ron's advice to threaten dogs and date horses. Carja says, thanks for the show, Nick. To Ron, words are cheap. They are very cheap. Jay says, Ron is the personification of the illusory truth effect. He believes the lies. He said them as a daily mantra because he's the hero of his little story. Yep. Nobody says, not as toxic as Monica's toothy horse, Pavizzi. Stooge Muffin Stuffin says, hashtag helmet for Soye 2020. Samurai Zenji says, Ron, if you were a friend of Vic, you would have contacted him personally instead of contacting the Rangers. What a fake friend and a liar. Yeah, I loved all that. I know Vic. I'm Vic's friend. I want Vic to get better. You never really talked to him. Changus Khan says, Ron is officially a bigger hoe than Monica. Stooge Muffin Stuffin says, if they play that video in court, let's just say BTFO won't even begin to describe what would happen to them. Spank Daddy says, no refunds here. Pinky promise. Been watching your live streams for a while now and thought it was time to get grifted. Take my shekels, Nikki. Oh, no. Oh, I'm not worried that you will refund it. I'm thinking that GoFundMe might refund it because they might do that. So we'll see. Mr. Schwaggins says Ron's dumb as Fauk. Nobody says it's just harder to beat a horse, isn't it, Ron? Changus Khan says, no! Ronversations must continue! I want to see Nikki triggered, lol! Oh, don't worry. I mean, something's gonna set me off daily. Nobody says Monica probably made him block you. Bix Boy. Serial Foxy says, did you give Ron consent for the brain rape? No. Remote emoji, wink emoji. Timothy Reaper says, as Ron, I have the receipts. I'll show them when this is all over. Show them now, you exceptional individual. Show them months ago, show them today, show them tomorrow. If you have the receipts, why not? Brandon says, I think the manlet sheepdog was talking about the deposition where he couldn't remember anything he said or did. Oh yeah, he was. I just don't know what thing he wants me to hear from Ty. Franco Miranda says, what an idiot. Does he not realize him talking crap about Ty could bone him hard if this comes back after appeals? God, I want Discovery after this. Salt says, when you encourage Vic to sue, did you wear your old cheerleading outfit and pom-poms? Go, Vic, go. Sue, Vic, sue. Yes. Now you know. I also asked him to do the coffee line. Viden the Cold One says, still in the hospital. Thank you for the entertainment. Well, get out of the hospital. Skaki Onsai says, you and I know that Ron would prefer Vic to be in a grave rather than working. I bet you anything Ron's just arse blasted that Vic got Monica's beans. Nobody says, what about all the Vic donos GoFundMe canceled? What about them? They got refunded. Matt Schrodinger says, shame on you, Nikki. You know Twitter for babies. Okay? Oh, yeah. Trent Michael says, Nikki, Ron couldn't find his ass with both hands and a map. Everyone, check out my channel. Have a good trip, buddy. So check out Trent Michaels. All one word. Vasily App says, rip Ronversations. They're going to live in our hearts forever. Yes, they will. They will. I think they'll be back at some point. I don't think he can stay away. The law in California. Oh, no. Those are different. You don't have a contract when you make a gift to somebody. That's a different story. Mercenary X says, I said it before that your child was a mini orc and was very orky with its mini wah. Now they have become an odd boys and was more orky by going to make your PC red to go faster, because we all know red things go faster. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Karite Sumatai says, beware, the intro to your short video reminded me of an old video game boss. Here's what my brain thought of. I live. I hunger. I am Guinness-Star. P.S. The sauce is I am Sinistar by Furries in a Blender. Sinistar is a horrifically difficult game. And I love it. Romeo Garbo says, good night, y'all. Good night, buddy. DeWeebwas says, deal Weebwas. Holy fucking shit. I want to bang the Animal Crossing dog so goddamn bad. I can't stand it anymore. Every time I go to the town hall, I get a massive erection. I've seen Witaway, every wooey 34 post there is on how on of who on wine. Gross. Dear Weebwas, my dreams are nothing but constant fucking sex with Isaboa. I'm sick of waking up every morning with 6 nuts in my boxers and knowing that those are nuts that should have been busted inside Isabella's tight dog pussy. This is hideous. Dear Weebwas also says, I want Hugh to have my mutant human dog babies. My effing mom caught me with the neighbor's dog. I dressed her in my sister's skirt and went to effing town. Dear Weebwas says she hasn't said a word to me in 10 hours and I'm worried she's going to take away my 3Ds. I might not ever get to see Isabella again. 3DS. So there you go. Jay says, I learned that Vic lost TCPA because, quote, the courts literally ruled that the accusers weren't lying and the courts have said Monica wasn't lying, from Nerd and Tie 2020. Also, as a psychometrician, emotional intelligence isn't psychometrically valid concept. Well, yeah. I think we know that it's just junk. Ron Snufflecuckagus says nothing, and that's all the super chats tonight, folks. Join me on Twitch in about 10 minutes for some more Doom streaming. For everyone else, peace. That's not true. It's not true. Couple more chats to go. Where Tiger Ray says, did you hear that Funimation may have broken contract with the translator for interspecies reviewers before canceling it? Nope. That's interesting. Jay says, between January 19th and April 19th, 2018, Toye made around 300 tweets. Between January 19th and April 19th, 2019, Toye made 2.3 thousand tweets. January 19th and April 19th, 2018, Toye made 300 tweets. Between January 19th and April 19th, 2019, Toye made 2,300 tweets. From January 2018 to January 2019, Ron made 1.3 thousand tweets. From January 19 to January 2020, Ron made 6.8 thousand tweets. Vic has already had your help, Ron. Yeah, thank you for the breakdown there. The Pie Baker says, God damn it, cuckold. You should know that the block button in any argument is an I'm a bitch, I surrender button. Goddamn, you're an absolute waste of life. Remember, Ron, ass clowns like you never change their defiled diapers. So there you go. That was disgusting. Bat Goat says, sad to lose Ron. He has brought us such joy. He has. Mario Carter 13 says, Nick sounds like he's having a stroke. Which head? Yeah. And then Pro Hero All Might says, that uwu chat just cost me many brain cells. Some nobody says, chat tonight says, I'd pound that dog 2020, y'all. So there you go. All right, guys. let's hit the outro. Oh, I better turn the volume down a little bit, otherwise it'll be really loud. Thank you for hanging out on the show tonight. Thank you for enduring the Ron Toye tweets with me. They were great. They were a sad thing. Ron, if you keep messaging me, you'll eventually get the answer you're looking for. I promise. It'll happen. But all right, guys. I hope you all have a fantastic night. Come join me on Twitch for a little bit of commando action, and if you know what I mean. And we'll see you over there. Have a good night. Peace.
White shores of Maine to the hills of Glenlivet. There's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. Oh, his lady is fair, and she handles herself with the grace of one who has borne many children. As the wife of a lawman, she makes sure that he has the time and the place to provide for them there. So pour out an odd bag of bow, more a love rug. The spirits flow as the ones who get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear Lost Planning tonight. From the white shores of Nan to the hills of Glenlivet, there's no one who explains the law better than Nick. So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. Oh, the guests are all plentiful, from Dante to Drexel. They bring their perspective and spice to the mix. But the reason we're here and the one that we cheer is the one who is showcasing us his career. Get unemployed. So pour out a glass for the tea post on Twitter as we hear Lost Planning tonight. From the white shores of Nan to the hills of Glenlivet.